Actually, in during there's an elective, humanities elective. So back then I decided to take social because उसमें पढ़ना नहीं पड़ता, लोगों का ये कहना था. So Megha Anand ma'am's copy actually gave me a lot of inferiority complex also. You cannot base your entire strategy on luck-based questions. Firstly, I think I have a tendency to overwrite. I remember I came to sir about 15 days before the exam and sir looked at my copy and was like,
क्रिटिकल एनालाइज वर्ड बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है. क्यों? क्योंकि सबसे ज्यादा मिसअंडरस्टूड वर्ड है इस दुनिया में. क्रिटिकल एनालाइज सुनते हैं हमें लगता है क्रिटिक कर दो. क्रिटिकल एनालाइज का रियल मीनिंग क्या है? राइट योर ओन ओपिनियन.
but this time also I repeated this mistake, sir. I was again so scared कि मेरा अच्छा नहीं आ जाएगा, तो I wrote it in the exam only for the first time. GS1 I left near about 1.5 question and 1.5 as in 15 marker. GS2 I was able to complete 3 हो गया था. Socio sir I left about 20 marks.
So very good evening, guys. It's a proud moment for all of us. We have AIR 22 with us, Ria Sani, and she had been part of our crash course 2 times, last year as well, and this year as well. And I'm sure that her experiences with respect to sociology and in general as well, with regard to GS, will help you understand what is not to be done and what could be done faithfully. Okay, because today it is very important to understand, specifically in the world loaded with information, very important to not get swayed by multiple information, because there is this constant FOMO that we feel. So did you ever feel that FOMO? How did you overcome that? How do you repose faith in one thing that you do? वो सब questions को deal करना भी equally important है. So without any further ado, I would like to call Ria here. Okay, so Ria, I'll begin with few questions.
Yeah.
First question which I would like to ask you is, how did you manage to overcome this feeling of FOMO, the one that I just
Yes,
talked
sir.
about?
As rightly said, there's an
Yes.
sir. The thing that helped me firstly was staying at my house. I think I wasn't here, so I was not able to. I did not have access to a lot of resources, as you said. But so what I did was focus only on the basic resources. That is, first was Nitin, the second was Harlumbus. And apart from that, of course, I had your notes, and that these are the only 3 resources that I essentially referred to. Apart from that, there'll be a lot of noise regarding 1,000 resources. But if you keep running behind them, you're definitely digging your own grave. So I also joined a lot of less Telegram channels. I identified only 2-3 which were helpful. That also helped me a great deal to overcome this FOMO.
Okay, so that means staying away from internet world or Telegram does help.
Yes, sir. Telegram is useful, but you have to assess the groups that you are in. You have to just be in about 2 to 3 major groups which are actually helpful. Otherwise, mostly you will be misguided to a large extent.
Okay. So with respect to sociology specifically, how did you make your notes? Did you have your own notes or did you rely on the existing notes?
Sir, largely I had Nitin Sangwan as the base source. Apart from that, whenever I studied anything extra, maybe from your notes or from Harlumbus, I used to just I used to just stick that particular note in Nitin Sangwan itself, so that I do not have to keep referring to the other books. But this time, actually, last time I had scored very poorly, and so this time I did try to make certain notes on Evernote. What I did was just write the keywords or the basic theory, so that it helped me remember it at the last moment. Maybe the books or the major thinkers for every particular chapter, or the IGNOU definitions for particular keywords. These were the basic notes for last minute revision.
Okay,
Yes.
so that means one must make his or her own notes.
Yes, sir.
Right? And what was the approximate length of your notes? Your own
Very
notes?
short, very short. Yes, sir. It was only keywords.
Only keywords.
Only keywords.
Okay, so as you said that you made your notes after understanding what is relevant, that should be there in my notes, and what is not relevant should not be there. How do you decide what is relevant?
Sir, I think after a while, by referring to the PYQs, we get we get a basic understanding of what is actually being asked in the UPSC. Without PYQs, I don't think we'll be able to. So PYQs was basic guide for me to help analyze what is relevant and what.
Okay. And when you refer PYQ, how many year PYQ do you think is important to refer?
So ideally speaking, right from 2013, I couldn't do it. But if you are able to do that, then I think that'll give you a very big edge above the other competition. So if not 2013, then you can start from 2015, 16, as many as you can.
Okay. And when you refer PYQs, you come across some questions which may not be there in your notes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That is true.
And that may give you FOMO, that are you missing out on something? How do you deal with that?
So firstly, initially I used to get FOMO, but then later on I realized these are not the questions that will be deciding your rank at all. Because these are the questions which will be out of syllabus for most of the people. So these won't be the questions which will be deciding your rank. If you stick to the basics, that will be much more than enough to give you that edge.
Okay. And if by chance, so I'm asking on behalf of students only, okay, the questions that students usually ask. And if by chance those questions come which have never been thought about or pondered over by you in those PYQs, if all those questions come in the next year itself, then?
Sir, if it's a sociological theory that you've never heard about, then I think there's pretty much nothing you can do about it. just take a wild guess of what it might be and write. I'll reserve that question for the last. When you have 3-4 minutes, just take a wild guess and write. But otherwise, if it's a question wherein you don't need to know the theory, but it's just a question where you haven't read about it, but you can understand from the knowledge matrix that you already have, then I think you should refer to the sociological thinkers. You should refer to the different chapters in your head, that okay, I can use religion here, I can use stratification here, I can use that theory, I can use Durkheim's theory, I can use Marx's theory. Just refer to those theories and write those answers. You don't need to know everything. Just need to be able to interconnect the different theories that are there in society.
Okay. Basically, you are saying that if you come across a new question, and if you don't have answer to that question in your notes, on that day at least you can use your existing notes or knowledge to tackle that question. Yes. And if by chance that question is very factual, that means your existing knowledge may not help you, like Leela Dubé, Seeden, or something like this, then?
Sir, I think again, I don't think anyone can help you there. I think you have to take a wild guess. Like, I think last year there was some question about family. Morgan's question.
David Morgan.
David Morgan. I hadn't read about it. I just took a wild guess. Of course, it did not work in my favor, but that is again luck. You cannot base your entire strategy on luck-based questions.
आपका जो तैयारी रहा सोशियोलॉजी का, उसमें आपको सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम्स क्या-क्या आई?
Firstly, I think I have a tendency to overwrite. So I remember I came to sir about 15 days before the exam and sir looked at my copy and was like, how are you able to finish the paper? ये कितना लिख दिया है, इसमें तो जगह भी नहीं है. So I think first was my tendency to overwrite. Second, I think was thinking that I know everything, which was proven wrong last year itself. And thirdly was overcomplicating a lot of times. I thought just writing complicated examples or writing extremely complicated theories that no one might have heard of will fetch me marks, but that is not the case. The basic theories, the basic thinkers, and just writing simple everyday examples that you see around you, that is what will fetch you marks, because that is what will resonate with the examiner also.
Right. So that means one problem that you faced was overwriting.
Yes, sir.
And second was you wanted to somehow keep your answers normal, legible, and only what is desired by the examiner.
Yes.
But there was this tendency to write some new thinker.
Yes.
That was also one problem that you initially faced. So now for many students who are going to write paper, it is difficult for them to easily understand what they are writing. Is it over and above what is required, or is it the requirement? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So हाउ वुड यू डिसाइड कि जो मैं लिख रही हूँ, जो भी थिंकर का नाम है, जो भी कॉन्सेप्ट है, ये डिमांड के हिसाब से है या फिर ये एक्स्ट्रा है, ये सोच के कि इससे ज्यादा नंबर मिलेंगे, जो आपको लगा भी था कि फेच शायद ज्यादा नंबर हो, बट ऐसा होता नहीं, ये डिसाइड कैसे होता है?
सर पहले तो आई थिंक वी नीड टू स्टॉप रनिंग बिहाइंड ऑब्सक्योर थिंकर्स एंड ऑब्सक्योर थ्योरी, जो बहुत ही मतलब paper 2 में you will get many of them. So what I tried was link most of the theories with the major sociological thinkers कि डर्कहाइम से relate हो पा रहा है, पार्सन से relate हो पा रहा है, या फिर मार्क्स से relate हो पा रहा है, या Indian major sociological thinkers like MNS or anyone. So I tried to mention these sociologists first rather than running to lesser known sociologists. Secondly, sir, I think I also tried giving simplistic examples. For example, collective effervescence अगर है religion का, तो very simple example. For example, Ganga Aartis. That is what we see. So that is something that the examiner will also be able to understand very well or very easily. So these are the two things.
Okay. And when it comes to few kind of writing styles that you may have referred in the past as well. Okay. Because you may also have referred some toppers copies. When you analyze any toppers copies, what do you look for?
So firstly, I look for the structure, because that was one problem that I was facing. I wasn't able to structure those properly. Second is the legibility, because that was one major issue for me. My handwriting is extremely pathetic. So I used to so Megha Anand ma'am's copy actually gave me a lot of inferiority complex also, and to a large extent it acted as a guide also, because it was short and it was crisp and it was legible. So these were the things that I did.
So now she has made very important point that when she is referring toppers copy, she is only looking for structure and visibility. But most of the people, they are looking for content. Okay, when they are referring toppers copy.
Yeah.
So this is one issue that most of the people are repeating every now and then. You can't borrow content from toppers notes because there are many toppers. There is huge amount of content in those copies. And what we must look for is the commonalities in all the topper, which is the structure, which he just pointed out. And the legibility means visible है, आपका आंसर एकदम खुल के बाहर आ रहा है, एग्जामिनर को देखने में अच्छा लग रहा है. So now with respect to the substance of sociology, I would like to ask few questions. So in the past 1 month, Ria, I have come across many students. Now they have studied those things. Okay. But when it comes to explaining those things or having an idea to relate to the contemporary world that we are living in, they struggle. And in the past 7 days, I can recall many such instances. Like there was a student who was not able to explain what is positivism, right? Like he was just saying scientific study. Okay, but how scientific study, he was not sure. Okay. When I asked him, he said he had studied Marx, but when I asked him what is dialectics, he was saying opposition. Now, opposition, how, between what, and is it only opposition, something else also? So now the issue is many students have studied many things. Okay. When they confront a question, immediately after reading the question, that whole cloud of information which they had accumulated starts popping up in their mind. And now they are extracting some of the bits from that cloud to manage the answer. Okay. So you must explain what is the importance of knowing the application or the real understanding of the concept.
Yes, sir. That generally does happen because we study a lot, we don't practice much. So for that, I think, sir, primarily would be making crisp notes. I think shortening your notes would be the utmost guide or the key that you can actually use so as to understand the demand of the question in a much better manner. And that will not come within one answers, two answers. You will take 4 to 5 tests. You will write those tests. You won't be able to answer it well. After that, once your notes are short, I think you'll be in a much better position so as to analyze what is actually required in the question, what is not.
What is not required. That means we can say that when you have made your notes, then you should not just mug them up. You should always have conversation with the notes. it should be a two-way dialogue. Okay, although notes is not a living being, but you should treat it as a living being, that is it able to communicate to you what you may have written in it 1 year back. If it is not able to communicate to you what you may have written 1 year back, that means you are not even going to communicate the same to the examiner. So that means regular conversation with your own notes is very important to have maintained a good hold on your concepts. Now, you had already joined Crash Course 2 years back, right?
1 year back.
1 year back.
The last one.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So then why did you decide to join Crash Course once again?
So actually, last year what I wasn't able to do properly was watch the videos and analyze my answer sheet. Because last time there was paucity of time, so I was focusing a little more on GS. This time I realized I have to, the major scope of improvement for me, general, was only sociology. So this time I again refer to those, and I refer to the answer test discussion, the test discussions also. So that helped me greatly. Last time I had ignored those test discussions and everything. So that is something that helped me.
Okay,
That's why I refer to it again.
Yeah, so what do you learn from test discussion that you may not learn from notes or proper copy?
Sir, I think the question that you asked me earlier about analyzing what is important and what is not. I think many a times we'll just write something that is irrelevant and think that we have written a good answer. But through the discussions, you can easily be able to analyze your own performance and understand that what I have written, whether it is relevant to the structure, whether it needed to be written or not.
Right. So that means something which I repeat a lot in my class also. There is a difference between notes and answer. Okay. So if the question is asking you about something, so you may have whole lot of pages about one of that something. Okay. But the question is not about writing everything about that something. It's only about something of that something. Okay. And that is the difference between notes and answer. Okay. And that is something that most of the students must be very much aware of. Okay. And you should not be committing this mistake. Always make sure that examiner is looking for answer only, not knowledge. है ना, ये भी सही बात है ना कि आंसर और नॉलेज में भी फर्क होता है ना. नॉलेज हमारे पास बहुत है बट आंसर में स्पेस नहीं है, आंसर में एग्जामिनर के पास टाइम नहीं है, तो चाहिए लिमिटेड चीजें. अच्छा, सो रिया, सोशियोलॉजी सब्जेक्ट के तौर पे आपका बैकग्राउंड तो कभी रहा नहीं था, है ना? आपने ये ऑप्शन लिया क्यों?
Actually, in during there's an elective, humanities elective. So back then I decided to take social because उसमें पढ़ना नहीं पड़ता, लोगों का ये कहना था. मैंने ले लिया. फिर I found it interesting. It's like हाँ, societal issues पे है. It's interesting. So when I came to this, I didn't want to take my engineering optional at all. मेहनत नहीं करनी थी. Plus, everyone said that the resources and the guidance is very easily available in sociology. A very big plus, which might not be available in many of the engineering subjects, especially for UPSC. That is one reason. And secondly, of course, it's one of the most scoring optionals. This time also, I think it has performed relatively well.
More than option, I would say women have performed really well. And women plus this option sociology, I would say the combination has performed really well. So anyway, now if students are confused between two options,
yes,
okay, which usually most people are confused, like sociology versus political science, sociology versus anthropology. How do they make decision?
So,
क्योंकि सबको चाहिए short हो, easy हो. I
was also confused between socio and not to answer one or two optional. But sir, I think lastly it boils down to interest to a certain extent, because pros and cons तो सबको पता है कि short है, अच्छे marks आ जाते हैं. But if you're solely doing it for that, then I think you might not be able to put in your 100%. और ऐसा भी हो सकता है आपको third attempt, fourth attempt, sixth attempt लग जाए. तो it's a long journey. So please choose something that at least interests you and doesn't put you to sleep. I think interests are last after analyzing all pros and cons.
सारे प्रोज एंड कॉन्स देखने के बाद फिर इंटरेस्ट करना है.
अब 2-3 बचे हैं तो उनमें से देन यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इंटरेस्ट्स यू.
तो अल्टीमेटली इंटरेस्ट तो मैटर करेगा ही, वो सिलेबस से थोड़ा बहुत आइडिया लग जाएगा. तो आपका जो इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंस था उसमें कभी सोशियोलॉजी से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन आपको आया?
Yes, sir. Last year I did not have even a single. This time I was asked um, about Protestant ethics and what they are. I was also asked about the 70-hour work rule and how it relates to Protestant ethics. So I was asked, ki Narayan Murthy and other capitalists like those, are they inspired by Protestant ethics? And I had also read a book where I had also seen a video wherein Narayan Murthy sir was talking about this book also. So I referred to that in the interview. Apart from that, I was asked about power elites. So yeah,
Very nice.
these were the two questions that I was asked about.
So these were theoretical questions
Yes.
basically which they asked.
Yeah, last time they did not ask me even one, but this time they did. So you have to prepare a little before you go to the interview also.
Very nice. और रिया, जो टेस्ट आपने लिखे, टेस्ट की इम्पोर्टेंस लिखने में क्या आपको फील होती है? टेस्ट लिखने से क्या सीखने को मिलता है जो कि राइटिंग बिना किए लोग नहीं सीख पाते? ऐसी चीज क्या है?
सर आई थिंक वही है कि उसका इवैल्यूएशन फर्स्टली आपको पता चलेगा कि आपने लिखा है गलत. आई थिंक आई यूज टू थिंक कि अच्छा लिखा है, बट देन फिर मार्क्स आ रहे हैं तो पता चल रहा है कि आई हैव ओवर रिटन, माई लेजिबिलिटी इज द इशू, द स्ट्रक्चर इज द इशू. इट जस्ट हेल्प्स यू एनालाइज to a large extent, and it also helps you revise to a because you'll read something and unless and until you write it down, it doesn't register in your brain. Once you've written it down, वो 2 महीने बाद भी एग्जाम होगा, then you'll suddenly remember, oh yeah, I had written this down. So then वहाँ पर वो क्लिक करता है एग्जाम के प्रेशर में भी. So I think writing is very important. Writing tests.
Writing is very important.
Yes, sir, very important.
Because you get to know whether you are able to complete in the given time.
Yes, sir. That was an issue with me. I initially when I started, I think I completed a test in 4 hours or something. हाँ, फिर धीरे धीरे करके that time comes down. Yes, sir.
In fact, वो याद भी है कि
हाँ,
कॉपी काफी भरी हुई लगती थी आपकी.
Yes, sir.
तो मैं हमेशा खुद भी ना रेकमेंड करता हूँ स्टूडेंट्स को कि कॉपी इतनी भरी भरी नहीं लगनी चाहिए. आई मीन क्योंकि ये चीज बहुत चलती है कि भर दो. तो वो पता नहीं कैसे बच्चे उसको इंटरनलाइज करते हैं उस बात को कि भर के आना, वर्सेस वो जो कॉपी आती है सच में बहुत ज्यादा भरी होती है कि वो पढ़ने में नहीं आ रही. तो वो एक फाइन बैलेंस जानना बड़ा जरूरी है. उसके लिए यू मस्ट राइट टेस्ट, ताकि आपको टाइम टू टाइम सामने वाला समझा सके कि भाई लेजिबल भी है कि सिर्फ भरा ही हुआ है. कोई भी क्वेश्चन आपका है गाइस, यू कैन आस्क. इन केस इफ आई मिस्ड आउट ऑन एनी क्वेश्चन दैट यू वुड लाइक मी टू आस्क, और इफ यू कुड आस्क डायरेक्टली. तो आभाष क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं कि सपोज करो एक क्वेश्चन है, क्रिटिकली एनालाइज डर्कहाइम्स थ्योरी ऑफ सुसाइड, है ना? अब इसमें कितने थिंकर डालें क्रिटिसिज्म में, यही क्वेश्चन है आपका, है ना? ओके, यानी सुसाइड के ऊपर कितना और क्रिटिक में ऑफ सुसाइड में कितना?
आई थिंक ये सर हैड हेल्प्ड मी विद रिगार्ड्स टू दिस, बिकॉज जब भी ऐसे क्वेश्चन आता था क्रिटिकली एनालाइज, so what I used to do was just one page of showing what the theory is and then later on 6 to 7 critiques, जितने भी मुझे आते हैं या फिर जितने भी मैंने सोचे हैं वो सारे critiques. But sir asked me not to go overboard with the critiques. Keyword is the key here. Keyword is the key because अगर लिखा है critique करना है सिर्फ, अगर सिर्फ critique करना है then you will have to write 4 to 5 thinkers at least. But if it is critically analyzed, then firstly you will write about the entire theory, then you will write about 2 to 3 critiques, and then you conclude saying कि critique भले ही है but relevance उसका अभी भी ये है. That is what sir had told me. I followed that.
ये भी बताना चाहता हूँ मैं कि क्रिटिकल एनालाइज वर्ड बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है. क्यों? क्योंकि सबसे ज्यादा मिसअंडरस्टूड वर्ड है इस दुनिया में. ओके, नॉट जस्ट यूपीएससी के कोचिंग इंडस्ट्री में. क्रिटिकल एनालाइज सुनते हैं हमें लगता है क्रिटिक कर दो, जबकि क्रिटिकल एनालाइज का रियल मीनिंग क्या है? राइट योर ओन ओपिनियन. ये उसका रियल मीनिंग है ऑक्सफोर्ड डिक्शनरी के हिसाब से. राइट योर ओन ओपिनियन ऑन डर्कहाइम्स थ्योरी ऑफ सुसाइड विच कुड बी प्रो और कॉन, कुछ भी हो सकता है. तो इसका मतलब क्रिटिकली एनालाइज तो क्रिटिसिज्म समझना वुड बी लाइक क्रिटिक ऑफ द क्रिटिकल एनालिसिस. ओके, ये नहीं करना आपने. यानी कि अगर क्रिटिकली एनालाइज क्वेश्चन है ऑफ समथिंग, एक्सप्लेन दैट समथिंग प्रॉपरली फर्स्ट, find its relevance in the contemporary world, find some limitations in the relevance or the static part of that concept, conclude the answer. और मुझे लगता है रिया, क्रिटिकली एनालाइज ना भी पूछा हो तो भी यही लिखना चाहिए. इसका मतलब डिस्कस भी लिखा होता
Yes.
तो भी
that
यही
is
करते,
also- Yes.
एग्जामिन भी लिखा होता तो भी यही करते क्या,
Yes.
और डिस्क्राइब में भी और इल्यूसिडेट में भी।
Mostly yes.
इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि ये जो कीवर्ड्स वाला गेम होता है उसको सीरियसली नहीं लेना है, क्योंकि लिखना तो वही है। सीरियस किसको लेना है, डिमांड क्या थी। डिमांड वो कीवर्ड नहीं होता, डिस्कस, इलेबोरेट, इल्यूसिडेट, डिमांड कुछ और है। बच्चों को उस कुछ और पे टारगेट करना है, बच्चे इस ओर आ रहे हैं, ये जरूर ध्यान रखना है, ठीक है ना रिया।
हाँ जी।
ओनकार का ये क्वेश्चन है कि जब वो आंसर लिखते हैं उनको इवेलुएटर्स ये बता रहे हैं कि वो डिमांड नहीं है, ठीक है। इसका मतलब वो क्या है, फिर वो नोट्स ही है।
पता है, I think the problem is what happens is that we start running behind thinkers a little too much. तो मेरा भी ऐसे ही होता था, जैसे ही कोई टॉपिक आया मेरे दिमाग में सिर्फ थिंकर्स आते थे और I used to just jot down the 3-4 thinkers and the arguments that they said. But that is not how it is done, because thinkers एक दो जगह आप mention कर दो, जरूरी नहीं है you have to sprinkle it everywhere. Write what you also feel a little so that it becomes a little more simplistic. और कभी कभी तो ऐसा भी है कि if there is a thinker who has provided you with an argument which you like, you do not necessarily need to mention the name of the thinker also. वो अपने perspective से भी आप लिख सकते हो. तो I think सर ये चीज एक हो जाती है कि थिंकर 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 लिखते रहते हैं, तो उस चक्कर में वो नोट्स ही वापस आ जाते हैं। हाँ जी, तो जस्ट राइट अ फ्यू पॉइंट्स दैट यू आल्सो फील, ऐसा जरूरी दैट यू सी इन द सोसाइटी, एनी एग्जांपल्स दैट यू सी, you do not need to run behind the thinkers only. I think examples you should write in the notes for every topic in the syllabus. I had certain examples कि जो everyday life में दिख रहे हैं, जैसे sacred profane का simple example कि चप्पल बाहर निकालनी, वो तो है ही। फिर silk cloth is used for deities while cotton is mostly used for other people, so sacred profane, ऐसे simple examples, but so that we can give our own perspective to them also. We don't have to jot down everything from the notes. Pre mains के बीच में what I did was initial 1.5 months I think I focused 60 to 70% on social. वो FOMO होता है कि GS छूट रहा है, but you have to keep telling yourself 30% you keep doing GS, answer writing or revision, but I did social for 60% of the time for 1.5 months, but later on I shifted a little towards GS. So that is what I did.
Any other question? Yes. तो इनका क्वेश्चन है सिंपल लैंग्वेज में, एग्जाम्पल हर चीज में देने या फिर एक दो जगह ही देने होते हैं, और वो एक दो जगह कौन सी हैं, ये है ना आपका क्वेश्चन है ना। और एवरीडे लाइफ क्या है जिससे क्वेश्चन देने हैं, अगर देने हैं एवरीडे लाइफ से, तो ये 3 क्वेश्चन को एक एक करके समझ लेते हैं। आप बताओ पहले रिया।
Sir, I used to write examples about three to four I used to write. हर पॉइंट में जरूरी नहीं आप एग्जाम्पल लिखो, कभी कभी एग्जाम्पल के थ्रू आप थ्योरी एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हो, या फिर कभी आप बस एग्जाम्पल दिस करके कर सकते हो, बट 3 to 4, 2 to 3 is fine. Don't go beyond that also, it'll be overboard, but that is what I use.
बाकी ऐसा है कि जो एवरीडे लाइफ होता है ना, एवरीडे लाइफ का मतलब कभी आप डोंट अज्यूम कि आपको अपने दोस्त का एग्जाम्पल देना है। ओके, एवरीडे लाइफ का मतलब ये है कि आपने जो भी पढ़ा है कंटेम्प्रेरी इश्यूज के, उसमें से अगर आपको कुछ यूजेबल लगता है तो आप उसको बेझिझक कोट कर सकते हो, बिना ये सोचे कि जर्नलिस्ट ने जब उसको रिपोर्ट किया था तो सोशोलॉजिस्ट को किसी कोट किया था कि नहीं ना। आपने बस इतना देखना, जर्नलिस्ट ने कुछ कोट किया, ये रेलेवेंट है टू व्हाट आई हैव स्टडीड। फॉर एग्जांपल, डिपेंडेंसी थ्योरी एक थ्योरी हम पढ़ते हैं, ठीक है, और बहुत सिंपल शब्दों में बताऊं तो वो थ्योरी इतना ही कहती है, जैसे लोग अमीर और गरीब में डिवाइडेड है, वैसे ही नेशन स्टेट्स भी सुपर रिच और पुअर में डिवाइडेड है। तो वो क्लास इनइक्वालिटी नेशन स्टेट्स के लेवल पे भी है। आगे वो ये थ्योरी इतना कह देती है कि इन स्टेट्स को गरीब किसने बनाया, उन अमीर स्टेट्स ने। ओके, क्योंकि हिस्टोरिकल एक्सपीरियंस ऐसे रहे हैं कि आज यूएस और यूके अगर सुपर पावर हैं, या सुपर रिच हैं, तो इसलिए क्योंकि वो कभी ना कभी कॉलोनाइजर रहे हैं ऑफ चाइना एंड इंडिया। ठीक है, तो यानी कि पावर्टी और प्रॉस्पेरिटी के पीछे एक हिस्ट्री है, और वो हमें दिखता है जब इंडिया और चाइना इंफीरियर हो जाते हैं टू दीज नेशन स्टेट्स। तो और डिपेंडेंसी थ्योरी आगे ये भी कहती है, अगर इंडिया और चाइना राइज करने की कोशिश करेंगे तो ये स्टेट्स यूएस यूके कुछ ना कुछ सैंक्शंस लगाएंगे ताकि इनकी राइज या ग्रोथ पे कुछ ना कुछ रुकाव लगाए जा सके। आज हमें देखने को मिलता है यूएस चाइना पे टैरिफ लगा रहा है, तो वो कोर और सेमी पेरिफेरी की वॉर है। ओके, तो ये इसको एवरीडे लाइफ आप बोल सकते हो कि आप एवरीडे लाइफ में पढ़ रहे हो या फिर जान रहे हो, और इसमें इतना लिखने के लिए आपको डेप्थ में जाने की जरूरत ही नहीं थी, बस इतना ही लिखना था। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यूएस इज इम्पोजिंग टैरिफ to counteract the growth of China as the next core and in order to maintain the core periphery division. That's it. कोई ज्यादा भारी बातें और कुछ नहीं, ऑलरेडी आप जो कहना था वो कह चुके थे। अच्छा, और कोई क्वेश्चन किसी का? यस।
Paper 2, Sangwan and IGNU to a certain extent for a few chapters, and for definitions mostly IGNU.
Any other?
I came to Sir only, and I also referred to certain test copies of mine, and then I analyzed that I was overwriting. जो भी उसमें remarks मिलते हैं, that I was overwriting first. Secondly, my work wasn't legible, so even if the content was there, no one was able to understand what I was writing. Secondly, spacing structure भी इतना अच्छा नहीं था. बहुत बार ऐसा होता था कि सब पार्ट कुछ और डिमांड है क्वेश्चन की, बट आई वाजंट एड्रेसिंग दैट, आई वाजंट रीडिंग द क्वेश्चन प्रॉपर्ली. सो दीज वर द 2-3 थिंग्स, एंड आई रोट अ लिटिल मोर सिंपलिस्टिकली दिस टाइम.
ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट आपने बोला है कि आपने सिंपल लिखा
हाँ
इस बार।
हाँ, ओवर कॉम्प्लिकेट नहीं किया
नहीं
कि 100 थ्योरीज डाल दिए हैं बस, थिंकर्स डाल दिए हैं बस. I don't think I'm the right person. I scored decent last time, 125 I think, but uh, that was the first time I went and wrote in the paper, because, and not because I'm overconfident, I'm very scared that I might write such a bad essay कि वो मुझे demotivate कर देगा. So this is also a lesson. You don't do this. But this time also, I repeated this mistake, sir. I was again so scared कि मेरा अच्छा नहीं आ जाएगा, तो I wrote it in the exam only for the first time. So I'm not the right person to guide you for essay. But what I can say is, what I did was, at least, I made certain notes, very small notes. मैंने ना स्पेक्ट्रम या जितने भी चीजें मैं पढ़ रही हूँ, चाहे फॉर जीएस, आई skimmed through them again. I referred to the things that can be used for essay. I noted them down. चाहे वो एनवायरमेंट में ही हो, फॉर एग्जाम्पल वो केस स्टडी कुछ नहीं, कुछ तो आया था ना, फॉरेस्ट आर द बेस्ट केस स्टडी, उसके लिए, या फिर एनीथिंग, एनी गुड थिंग. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इन स्पेक्ट्रम यू हैव मेनी कोट्स like I think Dandi March was the kindergarten stage of revolution, something like that. So a friend of mine had actually started his essay with that. He big things happen with small changes, ऐसे करके कुछ था. तो GS में I just noted down the things that I could use in essay and also in ethics. And I made a list of many quotes from great thinkers. I made a list of ethical examples that I can quote. So these were the things, but I think you should refer to someone else for essay. Current affairs, for prelims, mains, both, I read the newspaper every day, Hindu. Usme I didn't make notes or anything, but if I did find something that was worth noting for my GS, maybe some data point or a good case study or a quote, जस्टिस चंद्रचूड़ के बहुत सारे कोट्स आते रहते हैं जैसे केसेस में, सपोज आई मेंशन्ड दोज कोट्स थॉरली इन माय जीएस 2 पेपर, कि वो बहुत अच्छे कोट्स होते हैं, कहीं भी आपको कुछ मिल रहा हो तो वो लिख लो, डोंट नीड टू मेक नोट्स. सेकेंडली, मंथली मैगजीन, दैट इज ऑल आई रेफर टू फॉर करंट. GS1 I left near about 1.5 question, and 1.5 as in 15 marker. Yes, 2 I was able to complete, 3 हो गया था. Socio sir I left about 20 marks. Paper 1, paper 2 I didn't leave anything. I wasn't able to complete now. That is one issue with me.
तो अप्रोक्सीमेटली 40
तो हाँ पक्का
total.
है, बाकी भी हाफ हाफ कर दिए, कभी
50 मान लो.
क्वालिटी, हाँ 50 मान लो. previous attempt was worse when it comes to writing the full length answer. वो और छूटा था तब।
अच्छा, ये काफी इंपॉर्टेंट लर्निंग है एक्चुअली। ये बात ना सिर्फ रिया की नहीं है, पहले भी ऐसा हुआ है। बच्चे क्वेश्चन छोड़ते हैं, अ, जान के नहीं, छूट जाता है, ठीक है। और रिग्रेट उसका जरूर होता है, लेकिन अगर ना छूट गए अनकॉन्शियसली, तो इसलिए छूटा है क्योंकि जो आंसर उन्होंने लिखे, उनका फोकस था वहां पे आंसर में जो डिमांड है उसको कंप्लीट करने का। अक्सर कुछ लोग इन द नेम ऑफ कंप्लीटिंग द पेपर दे आर कंप्लीटिंग देयर नोट्स, दे आर नॉट राइटिंग आंसर। और क्योंकि वो फर्क है दोनों में, इसलिए आंसर ज्यादा जगह आने पर एक जगह शायद छूट भी जाए। ओके, थिंकिंग के लिए टाइम होता है, तो दैट इज फाइन एज लॉन्ग एज यू आर गेटिंग सेलेक्टेड विद गुड रैंक एंड गुड मार्क्स। दिस क्लियरली shows despite leaving 50 marks, if you can get rank 22, so that does mean सब कुछ भर के आना से ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है जो लिखो अच्छा लिखो, राइट? है ना? और कोई क्वेश्चन? So I think we've fairly covered all the dimensions or questions that you may have had in your mind. And with this, we will conclude this session. And um, we also would like to know one more thing, last thing before we conclude the session. कि जब आप इस बार रिजल्ट का वेट कर रहे थे, तो एक एंजाइटी भी रही होगी, राइट?
Yes.
कि व्हाट इफ यू डोंट गेट योर नेम इन द फाइनल लिस्ट। कभी आपने प्लान बी के बारे में सोचा था, रिया?
सर ऑनेस्टली जरूरत नहीं पड़ी। फर्स्ट ईयर के बाद थोड़ा लगा कि फर्स्ट ईयर व्हेन आई डिडंट क्वालिफाई फॉर सो आई थॉट कि अब जरूरत पड़ेगी, बट आई एम प्रिविलेज्ड इनफ so to say that my dad said कोई बात नहीं, एक दो और अटेम्प्ट देख लो। I know not many people are in that position, so plan B becomes important for them. Second attempt में reserve list के through IRTS मिल गया था, so I didn't need a backup. But yes sir, if there is any, after two attempts maybe one should start considering other backups also, because it just gives you a sense of ease. It reduces the mental pressure to a large extent. But ऐसा backup try करना at least third attempt तक कि which doesn't take too much of your time. For example, PCS is almost the similar subjects, so doesn't take too much of your time. It will also help you in GS, in UPSC also. So at least 3 attempts तक I would suggest you can focus a lot more on UPSC also. It depends on situation to.
बिल्कुल सही बात है, जैसा आपने खुद भी बोला कि एक प्रिविलेज है
हाँ
कि
जी वो है।
that we are born to such family that we could take this risk of having 2 or 3 attempts. वो सबके पास नहीं रहती, बट वही है कि सबको अपनी स्ट्रेंथ, अपनी वीकनेस के हिसाब से अपनी प्लानिंग करनी। देयर इज नो वन साइज फिट ऑल अप्रोच। तो बट शी इज इक्वली राइट कि आफ्टर सेकेंड और मे बी थर्ड यू मे स्टार्ट थिंकिंग ऑफ योर प्लान बी, बट नॉट इवन बिफोर यू स्टार्टेड योर फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट। क्योंकि ऐसा हुआ लास्ट वीक, एक स्टूडेंट आया, ही हैज नॉट इवन गिवन हिज फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट, और उसका प्लान 2026 का है, ओके, फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट का, एंड ही वाज आस्किंग अबाउट प्लान बी। तो मेरे को बहुत ज्यादा अजीब लगा कि प्लान बी इतना वायरल हो चुका है क्या, ठीक है, कि लोग ए से ज्यादा उसके बारे में सोचने लग गए हैं। हाँ, तो ये जो सोशल मीडिया की लाइफ है ना, उसमें हमें बहुत सिलेक्टिवली चीजें पिक करनी है कि इसका चीज आपका प्लीज ध्यान रखो इन चीजों का, ठीक है? ओके, सो
सोशल मीडिया पे एक दो एजुकेशन चैनल्स देखो, बाकी मी टाइम पास कर लो थोड़ा।
हाँ, बाकी सिर्फ टाइम पास के लिए, सच बात है, एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए। कुछ चीजें सीरियसली नहीं लेनी चाहिए सोशल मीडिया पे ना, कुछ चीजें सिर्फ फन के लिए, अपने आप को लाइट रखने के लिए। ऑलरेडी पैनिक्ड स्टेट में हम जो हैं पढ़ाई के।
तो मैंने तो ऑलमोस्ट कंसिडर कर लिया था आंसर राइटिंग क्लासेस ज्वाइन करने का, मतलब इट सीम्स चाइल्डिश, बट आई थॉट कि फिर कर लो इफ यू हैव द टाइम। वो तुक्का हो सकता है वो, बट हाँ नाउ यू डोंट हैव द टाइम, बट हाँ आफ्टर दैट यू शुड।
ये बात बहुत जरूरी है जानना कि आपकी आंसर राइटिंग में जो आपकी राइटिंग है आंसर से भी पहले, वो अच्छी है या खराब, ठीक है?
सर देयर इज नॉट वन सिंगल
हाँ,
पेपर जिसमें मुझे ना लिखा हो कि प्लीज improve your handwriting, not just in socio, in all GS papers. Every paper I've gotten this remark.
सेम रिमार्क आपको मिला है?
Same remark. Good content, very good content, ये वो, and then please improve writing.
नहीं, तो अल्टीमेटली एग्जामिनर ने कुछ तो देखा ही होगा, राइट? कि अगर राइटिंग अगर मान भी लें कि बहुत खराब है रिया की, मान लेते हैं एक सेकंड के लिए, ठीक है, तो फिर मार्क्स कैसे आए होंगे? एक ही तरीका है कि इन्होंने जो पहुंचाना चाहा एग्जामिनर तक, जो कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं, वो एग्जामिनर को पढ़ने में आ गए। और ये चीज बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है जानना, एग्जामिनर डोंट रीड ईच एंड एवरी वर्ड और ईच एंड एवरी लाइन दैट यू राइट। और ये चीज भी मैं कई बार बोलता हूँ, एग्जामिनर हमेशा वर्टिकली रीड करते हैं आपके आंसर को, हॉरिजॉन्टली नहीं। ओके, इसका मतलब आपको एक एक वर्ड के ऊपर इतना ध्यान नहीं देना है। स्ट्रक्चर इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, लेजिबिलिटी, अगर आपकी राइटिंग खराब भी है, स्ट्रक्चर आपको लेजिबल बना देगी आप। ठीक है, ठीक है, थैंक यू सो मच रिया,
Thank you so much.
and thank you guys for coming all the way to our center, taking time out of your prelims preparation, and we really wish that this session turns out to be immensely helpful for you in the coming mains examination. I wish all of you all the best. आप लोग प्री क्लियर करो और मेंस के बाद अपना आंसर राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस शुरू करो।
All the best for your pre. Hope you all make it.